What is up? How are y'all? What is today? It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday night. I just got in from work. I am a little bit tired. I've got one more day of work, and then this weekend is my niece's wedding, so it's gonna be lots of family things, which will be fun. I'm really looking forward to it, but I'm really tired. I need a clump of days off in a row where I can be alone and just like not have anything to do or anywhere to go and just decompress. But just gotta hold out through a few more days of powering through. So we can do it. Our extended reading for today, boy, am I feeling it. So first of all, we got from the Halloween Oracle, we got Lady de los Muertos, acceptance and equality. This is the character, the female character that's sort of like I don't know how to say it. It's not like it's not exactly the patron saint of the Day of the Dead, but she's become like an icon representing that day. We've got her followed by Four of Pentacles, followed by Queen of Wands. So I'll tell you what I think is going on here. I think that, so the Lady de los Muertos asks us to acknowledge the fact that death is inevitable for all of us. So we might as well accept it and even embrace it with humor, scoff in the face of death. It's something that we can't avoid. So if we embrace that as, a natural part of life, and we use it to inspire us to make the most out of the time that we have here, then in a way we've transcended the fear and the illusion of death. In a way, death isn't real. When these flesh suits go to sleep or whatever, our soul and spirit still go on, our consciousness does, and it even comes back again and again to work through, the soul's assignments and whatnot. But each incarnation is unique, and so this particular life as Liz Taylor, or as whoever you are, don't mean that as as harsh as it sounds. This is the one time we have around, so you may as well enjoy life, not take things too seriously, not take things too hard, and surrender your illusion that you have any real control over most things, right? So we do what we can to try to master ourselves so that we can at least regulate the chaotic things that we don't have control over. At least we can influence them, right? Do what we can to change what we have control over and accept the things we cannot change. So when Lady de los Muertos comes up, she asks us to maybe approach a situation with a little more lightness, like not as serious, a little bit more lightheartedly. Approach a situation lighter, lighten up about it, at least initially in the beginning, and it might actually allow for more success. So try to give up this grip of trying to control a situation and surrender to the flow of what is happening. And then it will allow the situation to flow better, but it will also allow you to embody your most charismatic self, the self that's full of potential, that is like in touch with their inner spirit, their confidence, their self-worth, their drive, like their inner leader and, visionary. the Queen of Wands is like insanely charming and charismatic and great at multitasking and taking on like everything and being able to juggle everything in the air and make it kind of look fun and effortless. So we have this in us, but we have to go through a process of letting go of all the self-defeating tendencies of the ego that keeps us in this state. Like, look at these two characters side by side. Right now, we are holding on so tight and really making ourselves small in our situation, just trying to delude ourselves, you know, and manipulate everything and try to like make things play out exactly like we want them to. But we're robbing ourselves of a greater vision, something that like we can't even see. It's bigger than what we can ask for ourselves. It's ahead of us. So right now we can jump from here to here quite easily, but we have to let go of all of these things that we've been just determined to hang on to, whether that's emotional baggage or possessions that don't serve us anymore, careers or jobs or, you know, dreams or habits or people that don't serve us anymore for our highest good. You know, it's not to say that we just throw people away if there's nothing they can do for us. That's not it. It's not opportunistic coldness. It's giving distance to people who are holding you back, who are talking down to you, who don't believe in you, who don't have confidence in you, who wear down your confidence, people who are, you know, taking advantage or in like making, you know, like being really out of balance in the give and take of a relationship. You know, you're getting rid of like toxic cycles and toxic people and toxic patterns, that kind of thing, not just like throwing somebody away. So when we say like someone's not serving you for your highest good anymore, it's like someone who's holding you back because of like some kind of negative behavior or like some kind of bad or like negative influence that they're having over you in your energy field, right? So be discerning about that. Be discerning about the habits that need to go, the mindsets, the cycles of playing into, you know, accidentally tripping and falling into the same cycle again and again. It may not be because of the other person's behavior. Like we got trapped in with this type of person again. It's like maybe it's our tendency to go looking for a solution in from a source that's not like the ultimate source, right? Maybe we're still reaching outside of ourselves for, you know, reassurance or validation or what have you. Maybe we are still looking outside of ourselves for permission from, you know, the world. So, you know, permission to be ourselves or whatever. Maybe we're still looking outside of ourselves for something to solve our emotional problems, hoping that we'll feel better. Because, you know, if you're just hoping that suddenly one day you're going to feel better, like if you kind of buy into that whole thing, like time heals all wounds, like it doesn't. If you're just sitting around hoping that one day you'll wake up and you'll be like, oh, all of these things, I just suddenly just don't mind anymore, or they're not plaguing me. It's not how it works. You have to determine within yourself to pull yourself out of the pit and stop going on the thought loops and stop, you know, getting sucked into. It's one thing to observe like, oh, I can see that this situation bothers me or triggers me, and I can feel that feeling, but I'm going to kind of give myself some distance and like watch and like investigate, like what is it telling me? What's under the surface of it? It's a different energy than being like, oh, this situation's really triggering me. I'm so pissed. I'm so mad about it. Oh, you know, and then like get lost in that like loop of self-talk and, you know, catastrophizing and, you know, round and round and round you go. So the Lady de Los Muertos really reminds me of the fact that like we're going into Scorpio season soon, kicking off with that Scorpio new moon around the corner. I can't remember what the date is that it falls on, but this is really, the whole month that it begins is going to be deeply transformational. Saturn will be going direct. There's a few things happening that are key moments where the timeline cross or jump or whatever that Y point is happening. This is a decisive moment for us. And so excuse me, if we surrender to the change and allow the transformation to take place and let go of our grip on the control of trying to hold everything together and not let anyone or anything go, surrender to it. And then you will be rewarded. The transformation will help you become more transcendent. You'll be more magnetic. Things will be flowing through. And you will be sitting pretty like the Queen of Wands, and you'll feel great and charismatic, and you'll have moxie and like excitement, and like you'll look forward to things. But like looking forward to a whole new up-leveled life too, you guys. Like we're really like becoming this new version of ourselves, like a better version, and our life is going to slowly start reflecting that. It's going to get better and better. So just hang on through this last like shady few weeks through the year. I mean, you know, we're never completely out of the woods, but I really do feel like the energy is going to let up soon. We've just been under the harsh discipline of Saturn, where it just feels like you have to slay fucking demons for every inch you get. Lately, I just feel like it's not even just like nothing comes easily. Like, oh yeah, duh. But like, I feel like nothing comes without slaying a fucking dragon for it, like lately. Like, not one thing, not one view, not one like, not one pixel, not one table, not one easy, just come on. Like, so I'm with you. I'm so ready for just like ease. Just something to like be productive, fruitful. Speaking of, like my video right now. Do it. Don't waste any time. There's no excuse. I'm telling you right now, you're watching the content, you're here, you've made it this far, you're 12 minutes in, I've tap danced for you. Like the video, because it's the only way content creators can grow their channel. If you subscribe, if you like, comment, share. If you are like feeding yourself on people's content, whether it be here or Instagram or wherever, please be mindful to support that creator just by like clicking or liking. I know some people are so scared that someone's going to see them like doing something like taboo, and they're afraid to be seen liking anything. So if you're that private, you can save posts and like no one sees it. But what happens is if people continue to go to an account or a channel or whatever, and they're just continuing to like watch things but not react to any of it and not participate, then the algorithm understands that as this is not good content, and it's not going to get spread or shared anywhere else, and you're going to be buried in the feed, and it's not going to be shown to anyone. So it's not even like you're benignly just invisible watching someone. If you're not taking part or like participating in any fashion, you're actively holding them back. So I am outing this right now. I've had it. Okay, so thank you for liking this video. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for watching. I'm really happy you're here. Yes, so the thing is, what's really important to note right now, and this is the most important thing, is that if we're determined to hang on to things that we know are trying to leave, that we know that Scorpio season, that Saturn is trying to ask us to release and let go of so that we can move forward and like really up level, then things are going to get very uncomfortable. The lessons are going to get harsher. The lessons are going to get louder and more uncomfortable and more unpleasant and more persistent until you do what you know in your heart you need to do to move forward in your life. The universe is really going to be putting the pressure on you right now to change. On the upside of that, the universe is putting a ton of support on you if you're leaning in, if you're surrendering to the process, right? If you're allowing yourself to give up control, then it will open up and it'll allow for so much more support, the change to happen fast, and growth to occur quickly. I also see that there's a message here about just balancing the comings and goings of your like finances. Don't do anything too extreme. Like, don't be too lackadaisical or lavish. It's good to balance spending and saving right now, but like, don't be too miserly, but like also don't waste money. Just be wise with your money and be conscious of respecting your money and cultivating it so it can start growing, right? Yes, and if you do that, then you'll be, again, sitting pretty with security and happiness and passion, like the Queen of Wands. It's pretty hard to be like fully passionate and like charismatic and full of life if you're always completely like stressed out and like worried about things and like, you know, spread too thin. So be sure to take care of yourself, and by doing financially wise things for yourself, you will allow yourself a lot more mental and emotional space to feel more like the queen rather than the miser, the small miserly person trying to control everything. All right, you guys, Lady de los Muertos. 4 of Pentacles, give up control, let go to the process. Oh, I know, I was going to tell you. Okay, so the weirdest thing, I just realized it as I was driving home, to do with Scorpio season. Energetically, okay, so I've had, I think that like pains and like ailments and stuff in your body are like sending you messages for things. And so I've had a lot of like stress knots and things in my left arm, and like in my shoulder, and you know, I've been really like trying to like massage them out over the last few days, but they're really tender. But then I've had like random like one-off pains like in my like thigh, or like my left one and my right one, and then like in my hands the other day, like, you know, over the last couple of days, and they're like these like little sharp, like, I don't know, it's like little sharp pains, and I almost felt like they were energy points, like trying to purge like all the negativity that I'm trying to offload out of myself. But I did think that they were connected to specific wounds, like that were tied to maybe people. And it occurred to me, I was like, oh, like this morning I had this vision, and it was almost like all these places were like hurting because they were tender, because these hooks were being pulled out of me, because I've been really trying to let go of all these things and not pull them with me, because I do not want the universe to get any more strict or stern with me than it is. So I'm just trying to like get to a point of like, you know, serenity and peace and like harmony and just a little bit of progress. But yeah, so I felt I had this vision. It's like there were energetic hooks coming out, and it was so crazy. And they were, you know, linked to people. And I had just been trying to work with like Archangel Michael about cutting cords and things. But it occurred to me when I was driving home, it's so interesting that, you know, like Scorpio season is really going to pull people through it, through the dark night of the soul, to like shake them into like that death so that they can be reborn. But I think if you've already been doing the work, like you're not going to have to go through that process again. It's just like it's already out of you. It's just more like the rebirth process. I'm thinking my Scorpio season is going to be rebirth process, because when I thought about taking the hooks out, I realized on the way home, like, oh, I'm pulling the scorpion stingers out. Scorpio season, it's like ripping all of this like venomous like hooks out of me, which I feel good about that. And I think that it felt right. That felt very correct. But yeah, very tender in spots right now. It's definitely, it's real. All right, you guys, I am going to turn in soon. I'm gonna enjoy a hot shower, some hot food, and relax. And I'm going to go to sleep. I'm gonna sleep good tonight, I can tell. All right, y'all, be good. Don't be too good. Ciao.